Okay, I'm gonna make a video. Try not to go too long on the crypto and maybe a little bit of stock stuff too, because we got to keep an eye on that. We're correlated almost 1 to 1 with the Nasdaq now with crypto, according to Mr. Rand Nooner. This is what I'm seeing on Bitcoin weekly. It's a TD sequential showing a -6. It was going down. That's negative, is what I call it, a -6. That reverts back to my blackjack card counting disaster. Trying to learn. I don't have the mental capacity. Sorry. I like to seem like I'm smart, but I don't have it. I can't keep the running count. So anyway, if it's positive, my green numbers on TradingView, that's the way the software is written. It shows it above on both times, but it flips it green if it's going up, red if it's going down. Here's your SSL, whatever that is, sell arrow weekly. Got that April 11th, the week of April 11th. That would have been the Monday, I believe. When you get one of those, it's hit the door time, I think. I mean, I'm going to start watching that really closely because it doesn't work perfect. Like right here, you got your buy signal, but you only got a couple weeks out of it. So we're in the chop. But according to Larry Williams, this is a $1 million tip right here, I think. I got this out of one of his books, Larry R. Williams, I believe it's middle initial. 60 years in the business, trading stocks, commodities, futures. Super smart guy. Look him up. His website is called ireallytrade.com. The guy has an abundance of, he's like having lunch with Warren Buffett or something, or like spending the summer with Warren Buffett as a protege or something. But he says, all right, this yellow moving average here is my 10-week moving average. Sorry, my dog's hacking on a hairball over here. I got it on an EMA. You can put it on a simple. It doesn't really matter. I might need to change that. But so as long as this is headed south on a 10-week, on a weekly basis, that's a 10-week exponential moving average is what that is. He says you're in a bear market, obviously. You see what it did over here when it finally bounced. It started curving, started fish hook. I call that fish hooking, where it kind of rounds around like a fish hook. It only went up 3 weeks, but, it was headed the right direction in March. Probably because Do Kwon or whoever came out and bought a crap load of Bitcoin. That turned out real great. Thanks, Do Kwon, for your Luna disaster. Appreciate that. I didn't lose any money on it because thank God I was out of it. Anyway, so if your 10-week moving average is headed south, you're in a bear market, most likely you're better off to short most bounces on a short-term basis if this is what you're seeing. You're better off being on the short side of trades if you're in a bear market. They said the trend is your friend. Well, the trend's obviously going down until it breaks. And let's see, where would I draw? I'm not real good at trend lines, but I'd say at least that trend line right there. Get out of there. Yeah. You just go around your tops of your candlesticks, and you obviously lost this one. I need to delete that. It's gone. Once it broke below that, that's your sell signal also. It breaks below your Ichimoku cloud. You could throw Ichimoku on it. That's another sell signal. There's Ichimoku. I just put it on standard default. It draws your cloud system. You break below it, close below it. That's get out of Dodge. It's time to hit the door or flip the switch and go short. You can short sell it. Rick Benzinger, also 40 plus years in the business, he uses this trailing line on Ichimoku. He says when this closes on a weekly basis below your cloud, you're in a bear market. You're definitely in recession type market. You can go to the SPY. I don't think we're quite there yet on the SPY. No, we're still above it. Right here's your trailing, whatever they call this. it's all Japanese names and stuff. So it's a Ichimoku whatever indicator. But I have seen Rick Benziger use it a lot. He uses TD sequential. That's his number count system. Just Google it. If you can find the code, go into Pine Editor and you can, set it up. I've got a video on it. I'm a little hesitant to repost the code just because you could get into copyright, trademark violation or something on that. And I don't want to go down that road. So, what I will tell you though, I don't want to get sidetracked, but so the S&P also is on a -6. It's coming down. So I'm thinking we could get this week plus another at least 3 more weeks to get a -9 count. Now over here you only got a -8. March turned around for a little bit, but so there's no guarantee it's going to go to a 9, but historically most of the time it does. So I'm thinking we're in a down market until you break this trend line right here. Or at least get it back above the cloud if you wanted to be safe. That's, an ideal reversal situation. You could use your indicators, your RSI stochastic. If it breaks above 80 or whatever, what is this, 20? I guess, yeah, if it breaks above 20 on the bottom side. Now, Larry Williams has already done it. The Williams %R, that's this one right here. It's already broke above it. Looks like if it closes above it this week, could be a good signal, but it did it over here. A lot of times you get head fakes. You'll get a head fake rally, a double dip, and then another rally sometimes. I mean, this one did a triple dip, or double rally. This is your triple bounce, I guess you'd call it. I just get the feeling we're in a bear market conditions. Most likely, as long as the Fed is a net seller of their positions in stocks, I wouldn't touch stock market with a 10-foot pole right now. But that's just me. You do whatever you want. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to change this indicator to a simple. So I'm going to take that off. Go over here, find your indicators. I believe it's that one. Yeah. Go to favorites. And I want a moving average. Not exponential, just a moving average. Okay. Where did that drop that thing? Yeah, okay, right here. Okay, now you got to go to your settings wheel, inputs. I want that on a 10. Chart, simple moving average, length, 5. What's that? I don't know what that's about. Smoothing? Oh, I don't want smoothing. No, you don't want smoothing. Put that to a 0. I guess you can do gaps. Style. I want it yellow. You can put it whatever color you want, but labels on the price, values, yeah. Visibility, that looks good. All right, boom. And might change the thickness of it. Let's change the thickness. I like it where I can see it good. Style, get your line. Let's go at least that one right there. That makes it a little bit where it stands out. A little bit more. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Select OK. Now we got it. Boom. Now it's on simple moving average. On weekly, your standard simple moving average is going to reverse faster than your exponential. That's what I've been told. I don't know how they do the math on it, but if you want to, you can Google it, and I'm sure Investopedia has a definition on how it's calculated. But so it did tick up a little. I mean, obviously this week is higher than last week. on the Spire. It's SPY, S&P 500 ETF mini. It's a mini ETF of the S&P 500. It's just like it's one decimal place to the right, I guess, or whatever, to the left. So 400 would be 4,000 on the true S&P 500. But it's just this way you can get the volume, is what I've been told. It's hard to get volume on S&P 500 on a lot of charting platforms, so I try to use that. But so you're below the cloud. You close below the cloud. That's not good. If your trailing line ever breaks below that, which it follows your price action. So, if we close below what this 1, 2, 3 count, we close below 362 in the next 3 to 4 weeks. That's a problem. Okay, that's a major problem. Now we could be getting close to a low at that point if you get a -9. Yeah, who knows? I mean, we're due for a bounce this week. I mean, if you go on a daily basis, we're already getting it. We're already on the buy signal. You went to a -5. We're on a 3 count up now, +3 is what I call it. Is Bitcoin? I think Bitcoin's pretty much following it too. NASDAQ, Bitcoin SPY. See, Bitcoin -9 right here, perfect. You could have bought the close on a Sunday of this. You look like a genius right now. You got your buy signal the next day. You rallied 2.74%. That was easy money. I have noticed a lot of times you get this bad 9 down count. Your very next candle, most of the time, I don't know what percentage, but I'd say 80, 90%, is going to be a reverse candle. So if you're in a downtrend, look for a bounce. I call it candle number 10, even though they don't. The TD sequential doesn't give you a number 10 right here unless you're on these small numbers. These are on a 2-day basis. It has to close 2 bars below your previous bar, and then you'll get your count increase. So we're on a +3. You're on an uptrend on Bitcoin daily. Probably draw it right here. I did learn something. I think it was in Larry Williams' book also. So the way he does trend lines, this is in Tom DeMark's book on TD Sequential. He's got, I think, at least 2, maybe 3 books out on it. Search it on Amazon. I highly recommend it, the Kindle version or whatever. I mean, I'm probably going to buy the actual book because Kindle is a disaster trying to look at charts and stuff on. But and he does a lot of examples of pictures of charts. So if you can't see it very good, it's hard to make a lot out of it. I'd say save your money and just get the hard copy. Get a paperback or hardback version of it. Pass it on to your grandkids, and because this is what this TD sequential, this number count system, this is what hedge funds use. So if you're gonna play with the big boys, you got to have the same tools they're using, or you're gonna get smoked 90% of the time. You might as well just mail them a check, write it off on your taxes as a donation or something. But anyway, so we're on an uptrend. Tom DeMark said in his book, he uses the last 2 bars of price action. So 1, 2. I mean, that would obviously be down, but I would look for your low points, your 2 lowest points, I think. And I'm just testing this out myself. If you get another lower low, obviously that's a bearish indication. I mean, your tops are, they're not looking real bullish right now. Your tops are down on your last 2 bars. So that's not, let me draw that to indicate it for you. You start right here and go to right there. I mean, It's not looking real great. Now it's going to break out one way or the other. It'll either break down or it's going to break up. That kind of tells you which way it goes. I mean, most likely it continues up for at least a 9 count, hopefully. Here lately, with your weekly basis going down, we've been getting some really short-term bounces, 3 to 4 days, and it goes right back down. So I wouldn't get my hopes up for anything long-term just yet. I don't think we're there, but that's my opinion. I mean, I could be dead wrong. There's a lot of people thinking we're close to the bottom. I know that Gareth guy on Rand Nooner's show on Crypto Banter, he's thinking mid to the end of June, June 15th, maybe June 30th. I'm seeing around June 15th, June 16th, maybe. That'll probably be close to the full moon day. That just gives you a little bit more wind behind the sails. We had the full moon, eclipse full moon on the 16th of this month, of May. It wasn't a great day. I mean, it wasn't a huge down day, but it was a down day. That Marin, what's her name? Chick Altman, I think. She was pretty close on that. She was predicting a dump into the full moon and then, a rally coming out of it. Got to give her some credit, some props on that. I like using this total 3 though. I had a really successful trade. What would that be? Almost 2 days ago, 2 nights ago. Well, technically it was yesterday at, say, midnight 01 Mountain Time, which technically would have been Eastern Central Time on the 16th. I was watching this total 3, which is your small caps on your crypto. It was set up perfect on a daily 9, rallying out. Bitcoin, Ethereum was doing the same thing. But you go down to a 4 hour to a 1 hour. I was using a 1 hour, and I believe it was on it was over here, I believe, right here on the 16th, 0400. That would be Central Time, I believe, is what I have this set on. So that was about 3 a.m. I should have been sleeping, but I wasn't. I couldn't sleep. Had to get up and go pee, probably. Over 40. You gotta deal with that. Anyway, this was on a 9, so you figure your next bar is probably going to be an up bar. Sure enough, it was. It was a pretty strong up bar. I mean, it was only 1.6% on the crypto market, but I was actually short. That would have been right around in here. Yeah, because I went short. So my hourly was on a 9 here. Okay, so you already got a down sell signal on your 9 bar, on your little yellow down arrow. So I started betting. I shorted it. I shorted the market right around in here somewhere. Anywhere between 8 to midnight, somewhere around in there, I think, 10, 11 o'clock. And then I held it, I think, until this hit this 9 count, I believe. I should have reversed and flipped it and went bullish, but it only went for 2 hours, so you didn't get much out of that. But hit a home run just by accident. I shorted Atom. I had 4. These are the ones I did. I shorted Atom, Rose, ADA, and TRX, I believe it was. So Atom, let me bring it up. I'll show you what happened. Okay, I believe it was right. Yeah, it was on the 15th, technically, Central Time. Had your 9, had your sell signal. It reversed on me for a little while. I was down like $200. I screwed up. I had a 10x leverage on Bybit. You really don't want to do that unless you really know what you're doing. But I was about half asleep when I made the trade, and I didn't verify that. You definitely want to verify that. It's real small. You can overlook it really easily. And before you know it, it's by default 10x leverage on Bybit, and that's what I did. And it worked out because I don't know if some news came out right here, what happened, but it dropped 2.3%, almost 2.4% in an hour. should have took profit right here, but I didn't. I might have got this one, this drop or this drop here. I let it rally a little bit on me because I fell asleep. I didn't sleep very good. It's what I call sleeping with one eye open. You're trading while you're trying to get a nap or sleeping. That's probably not a good idea. But man, this simple moving average is right on the money on a 10. A simple 10 now. That's a good indicator right there. That thing rolled over way before your baseline. That baseline is late to the party. But your 10 is telling you, hey, this thing's headed south. Your 10 simple moving average right there. I'm going to definitely start using that as a good. I mean, you get your sell signal here, and they're going to head fake you. You were obviously way outside your Keltner bands right here. This is a Keltner type Bollinger Band setup. I think I changed that to a 2x. I usually use a 3x. What they call a standard deviation of 2x times the price movement. You might have to Google that too. I just heard Raoul Pal, he mentioned it on Bitcoin. He said you could put a standard 2x deviation on, say, a weekly or monthly chart, and a lot of times Bitcoin rallies once it hits the bottom of your band system, is what he's saying. Anyway, so my Atom system, so it was a revelation moment for me. I mean, it, and I started testing this theory a few weeks ago. So you start your trade off of what your total 3 is doing. If you're shorting Bitcoin or Ethereum, or I say only, I learned this from a Goldman Sachs guy. He said only short, you bet against large cap crypto, or stocks. He says do not short a small pharmaceutical company that's half a million market cap. So you're using the market cap value of that company or that crypto or that stock. He says you need to be anywhere from 1 to 5 billion on stocks. He said the reason because of that, he says you're shorting, especially long term. If you're shorting something long term and it has a market cap of say 1 to 500 million or something, or even $500 million, they come out with some kind of news event where they come out with some, especially pharmaceuticals or whatever as an example, they come out with some news saying, hey, we've got an FDA approval. That thing goes up 500% overnight. You get wrecked. If you're short, you get wrecked. He also said it's better not to short a dividend stock because you also pay, you end up paying that dividend. If the dividend date hits and you're still short, you have to pay that dividend to the market maker, whoever you borrowed those shares from to short it and bet against it. You have to pay the market maker those shares or whoever you borrowed it from. So anyway, that's still a little something to keep in mind. So I made a list of, I need to make a better watch list of large caps. So if you're going to bet against something, let's see, I thought I had it. Yeah, large caps right here. So here's my large cap list. Yeah, Luna was one of them. I should have bet against that one. So you got ADA, Algo, AVAX, BNB, Bitcoin, DOT, EGLD, EOS, ETH. I won't go over all of them. I'll just kind of scroll through them. You can look them up. That's however many I got. Thought it used to say how many you had in there, but I guess not. Yeah, there's 20 of them. There's 20. Okay. So that's where I start. I start on my total 3. If I'm going to bet against my large caps, start on the total 3, whatever time frame you're looking at betting against. Now, obviously, your day is due for a bounce. I mean, it's already bouncing. already has bounced off your 9. You know, I'd say this is probably right here. As long as it's above this line right here, you're bullish. You're on a buy signal daily, on a daily basis. Now, this is daily, short term, midterm. We're not going on weekly. Weekly over here is up here. This is where you need to get above this on a weekly time frame, I think. But so if you want to bet against something, the way I was looking, like I said, I started on this hourly chart. I'm not looking to go long term much of anything right now. I'd say maybe a 9-hour period, 8 to 9 hours is about the longest I want to be in a trade right now. Really, your first hour is the easiest money. You come off a 9, going up or down, you get 60 minutes, you made 1.6% in an hour. You could do a 3 to 5x leverage if you wanted to. Probably make some decent money. Depending on how much you're betting. You bet at least $1,000, do 10x leverage, and let's roll. I don't recommend it, unless you know what you're doing. It's better to paper trade and practice. I've heard Bybit has a paper trade system. I haven't actually used it or tried to locate it in their app, or their website. But so this is what I did. I come off of this 9 count going up. I figured you're probably going to reverse. Anywhere from 4 to 9 hours. Sure enough, it did. Worked like a charm, and then the very next hour, boom, it rallies 1.6%. Your 9 count, very next hour, down 0.5. That's not great. You could have held it. 4, 5, 6, A lot of times your 6 candle, I have noticed also, sometimes that is your biggest down or up candle. Like here didn't really play out that great. Your 5 was better than your 6. Your 6 was kind of flat. Your 5 candle, you get that big candle somewhere in the middle between 4 and 7 usually. Somewhere in there is where you'll get your big move, your big shakeout. Most time what I've noticed, like I say right here, you get, let me zoom in on this so you can see it. And this is just by experience. I haven't actually read this in Tom DeMark's book anywhere. I'm sure he knows it, but your 1 candle is usually really strong. You'll get a pretty good, significant, bounce or dip coming off of your 9 count, especially if you get the 9 count. Like right here, it went down 0.5%. That's not huge, and then right here, it went down another percent. That didn't really work. But right here on your bounce, your first up count or your number 1 count, you'll get a pretty good bounce. And then number 2, it's either number 2 or number 3 bar, usually reverses. I think it tries to shake people out, tries to get people to sell and reverse their position. Steals their money more, in essence, is what they're doing. It's software. It's an algorithm. I'm sure that the market makers and your brokers use. It's a system, it's a way that they shake people out of trades, and it works 90% of the time historically. That's why the public loses money 90% of the time, or one reason why the public loses 90%. But so, don't fall for that. If you see it, wait for your 3 count. Most time you're going to get another up count. If it keeps going, you can stay in the trade till you're 9, or you could take profit on your 7, take a little more on your 8, take the rest of the profit on the 9 count. That's what I've learned to start trying to do. So you might implement that into your system, test that out, try it out. You don't have to just hold it all for the 9 count and then sell. I think that's a pretty good system. You're taking profit on the way up. It's what the hedge funds do. They're selling all the way up, and then they're buying all the way down in small increments, probably 5 to 10% on all the way up, all the way down. That's what they do, and it works. It would work better on, say, like Robinhood or something that didn't charge you commission on every trade. They do kind of cheat you. They definitely cheat you on your price. You definitely want to use a limit order. If you're using Robinhood, if you can, use a limit order to place your buy and sells. That eliminates their possibility for them to cheat you on the price 3 to 5%. They mark it up is what they do. In a nanosecond, you put in your buy order on a market order, Robinhood sells it to Goldman Sachs or whoever they sell it to. They mark it up 3 to 5%, flip it back to you in a millisecond, and that's how they're making their money. But technically, they can say they don't charge a fee because they're not. They're not charging you a commission fee, but they are marking the price up on you 3 to 5%. I didn't know that for almost 10 years. Well, I didn't know Robinhood even existed till a year or two ago, but a guy told me that I worked with, he's like, man, you got to try Robinhood. They don't charge you any fee, no commission. I was like, whatever, dude. They got to be making money somehow. They're not a nonprofit organization, I'm pretty sure. They're traded on Wall Street now, so, I know they're making money. I don't know how much, but they're a multi-billion-dollar company. Let's just look it up. Let's go to FinViz. That's my favorite website for stocks. I don't know. You get a lot of ads and stuff, but let's look up Robinhood. That's Hood. Yeah, that's a great ticker for you. Yeah, knock that out of the park, buddy. Woo, they have done absolutely nothing but go down since August of last year, haven't they? Ooh, feel sorry for these guys that bought the IPO price. Bye-bye, mail them a check. Okay, so you're a $7 billion company, $1.5 billion in sales. I believe that's is that annual or is that quarterly? I'm not sure. Earnings, earnings. Yeah, they just reported earnings. Down 42% quarter over quarter. Expecting next year 89.7% growth. Really? So that's telling you right there they're expecting a bounce sometime next year. No forward P&E, no profit, no profit price per earnings. So they're not making a profit yet per share of available shares to the public. That's how that. It's been a long time since I've evaluated stocks, but it's kind of like riding a bike. Once you've done it a couple thousand times, you figure it out pretty quick. Outstanding shares right here, 867 million. Beta, no beta. Average true range moves 98 cents average per day. RSI is probably in the toilet. 47, but anything below 50, that's in bear territory, bear market, bear chart. You get a lot of pop-up ads. You definitely get a lot of pop-up ads. This goofball. I don't need your insurance, goofball. Get off my page. Okay, I don't want to get into this, but okay. Get back to the trading view. Get back to the charts, man. Get on the charts. What else was I going to go into? So that's my revelation moment. Look, your total market, that's Bitcoin. Your total, just total, TOTAL. Type it in for your ticker. Total 2 is Ethereum. It's all of crypto minus you're taking Bitcoin out of the equation. I don't know who come up with this. This is genius. Whoever done it. And your total 3 is just your small caps, or you're taking out Ethereum, you're taking out Bitcoin. So it's pretty much all your alternative, your altcoins is what it is. So that's what they're using to come up with this price action. This is the market cap of all the altcoins right now. You're sitting at whatever, 462 billion. Yeah, give you an example where this was a few weeks ago, back in December. Where was it in December of 2022? Well, actually, you go back November was the high. It looks like 1.13 trillion over here. Woo! Yeah. Now you're at 400 something billion. Ew. Forget it. That's a lot of money just went bye-bye. I wished I'd have shorted the market back in November. You know, Rand Nooner had a pretty good thing. He said, well, you can tell when to buy and when to sell. He said, when you're extremely giddy about all your profits you're making on a daily basis, that's the best time to sell. Right here around Thanksgiving, should have sold everything we had. And that was me, man. I was trying to get my family and everybody in on Thanksgiving Day, man. It was all on cloud nine. And then December 4th came around and bye-bye. Dip City. Well, that was a down week. That was a weekly chart, yeah. That was November 15th. When was Thanksgiving? I guess we were down. We were down, I guess. I was up on some of mine. You know, I was up pretty good. Probably over, I don't know, 80, 90, probably over 100% actually from where I started. One time my account was at 120,000. Took a beating January and February. I mean, I'm down probably 50, 60% easily from where I was in November, 1st of December. So, you live and learn. I done some dumb stuff. You know, I took the head fakes on the weekends. A lot of times they'll throw a head fake. They'll make you look like you're bouncing. You're going to be, off to the races. And then Monday comes around, stock market. Monday's historically the worst day of the week. Bam, you get smacked in the face. You lose, 5-10% in a day. I mean, some of these coins you could lose 30%. If you're in some of this high risk gaming stocks, or not, I still call them stocks, but coins. If you're in these gaming coins, like Alex Becker, I've added a lot of stuff that's not gaming. Let's see what's doing the best on my Alex portfolio today. Vader taking a beating. They're not even tracking Luna anymore. That's amazing. ICE 40%. All right, I got a little ICE. I got $250 worth of ICE. What used to be $250 worth of ICE is not worth that now. Let's see. Weekly. I don't even remember when I bought this. This was last year, probably about this time, I think, when I bought it. Brutal. November 21, October. I bought it before then. So yeah, I took a beating. I probably bought it at the top, close to. I think I actually bought it over here. I tripled my money on it. I didn't take profit though, like a dumbass. I should have. Look at 105% in 1 week. Should have sold that week right there. Didn't do it. 105% in a week. Take that money. That's another thing I've noticed in this market, in this environment. As long as you're 10 weeks going south, it's kind of flatlined on this one. This could be bottoming sometime soon. It's kind of going flat, just kind of sideways. That's a decent indication. You can tell. Drop that down. Highlight your candle before it. So you were at 1.97. This week you're at 1.74. So no, it's still going down. That's the way you can tell. I mean, by just visualizing it, it looks like it's flat, but it's actually a little bit down. So you're on a -4 count on a weekly basis. Right here's your weekly. I guess I could there's a way you can put a watermark behind this where you can tell easier, but just it distracts me. And my ADHD is already distracted enough, so I don't need any help. I don't know if I actually have that or not, but maybe a little bit. I kind of ramble a little bit because I just go off the cuff on these videos. I don't script it. Obviously you can tell I'm not a professional. news anchor guy or whatever, any of that. But I just like to sort by percentage sometimes, and just see what's doing what. So the Vader, that's a gaming coin. ORN, that's I believe that's NFT based. This Basan, that's I want to say that was. I don't think that's a gamer. CRV, Curve, that's Curve Finance. AIOZ, they're related, I think. Kilt, Gary, ShopX, VPad. Let's see, Dirk, that's gaming. That's horse racing game. Ghost, that's a gamer. Gene, Renders related to the gaming. This WND, VGX. Arweave's not, but they may have some games built on their protocol or whatever. But GOG, that's gamer. Mana's definitely gamer. Decentraland. IMX, that's gaming based, NFT based. Gala's up a little. He's doing all right. YGG. These are super high risk. I mean, you can make a lot of money if you can catch them. Like Gala. I mean, Gala's, man, I was expecting it to bounce, and it almost did off the Fibonacci. I pulled it down to here, and it bounced to here on a negative count. That's a massive bounce on a negative weekly count. I thought it was going to the 382 level, 41 cents. Almost hit it. Let's see, where did it hit? The high was 39 cents. 39 and a half cents. It's pretty close. Didn't do bad. I mean, a couple more weeks on this, and these could reverse. The gaming coins. I wish I had a gaming sector ETF or whatever we could track it with. There's got to be a way to create that. I probably have to do it on a spreadsheet through Excel, but it'd be a pain in the ass, and you wouldn't be able to use all these indicators with it. But yeah, how about Doge? Doge, what are you doing, buddy? -5 count coming down. Sell signal May 2nd. Pow, bye-bye. Write a check. Mail it to them. Getting close, though, on your deviation. Your deviation right there last week. Let me show you that deviation thing that Mr. Raoul Pal was talking about. Look here. It's 5 week. This is your Bollinger Band on a Keltner channel. They call it Keltner channel, I believe. Bollinger Band system. I forget what the guy's. I'm sure his last name's Keltner. Keltner channel right here. You pull this up. You put it on a deviation of. I don't know if I ever showed you how to do this or not. I put it on a 21 length. Your multiplier, that's your deviation. So you can put that on a 1, 2, or 3. This is what Raoul is calling his 2x standard deviation of the normal price action, or the average price action. Your average true range length is also on a 21. And you're basing this on average true range, ATR. Put that on a 21. It's kind of smoothing out your moving average. It's measuring your price action, high, low, open, close, whatever, throughout the day or weekly or whatever, candlestick you got it set on. Your style, I just turn this basis off. That's your middle range. That'll be about your 21 day or weekly moving average is what that is. If you have that set on a 21, visibility, your background, you can turn that off if you want. Your labels, your price action, visibility on everything, seconds all the way to months, ranges, and then, like I say, the inputs is the main thing though. You can put it on a 3, but I use exponential, moving average. I make sure that's selected. So anyway, it can go down to a 3. It probably got pretty close to a 3 actually. We could test it. It broke through your bottom Keltner channel. So your top one's this top red line, and it's confusing because you have red lines for your Ichimoku too. But and then this is your channel right here, your bottom channel. So it broke below that on a weekly basis. I don't know what day it was, but probably Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm guessing. All right, so go to a 3. We'll put it on a 3 deviation. See, it didn't get close, anywhere close to your standard. On your 3, that would have been down around 22,000 last week if it would have dipped that far, but it didn't. So luckily it held. I think the low of the week was 26,700. I get that right up here. If you highlight your candle, it changes it on every candle. I really like that because you can see the percentage right here of every week drop. I really like that. A lot of software doesn't do that. TradingView is pretty awesome for the money. I mean, you get a lot, and it's fast. It's quick. It just works. I don't know why some software has so much trouble doing what this software does. I don't know how they got it to do this, man, but especially with crypto and small coins that not very many people can chart. Man, it's awesome. I don't know how they do it. I guess they probably tie into CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko or whatever, but hats off to them, man. It's amazing what they do. Let's see. Where was I going with that? Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, we're on the Keltner channel. Here we go. So I'm gonna change that back to a 2. This is what Raoul Paul's saying. He's saying your standard deviation on a 2, when it breaks that, a lot of times that's real close to the bottom. It could be right. I mean, this thing could reverse this week. It could, bam, it could blow through this trend line right here, this downtrend line. It could blow through that. I mean, we could be back off to the races, but I don't know. You got to take a global look. Watch what the Fed's doing. You got to watch what inflation's doing. You got to watch what the U.S. dollar's doing. What's the market? What's the stock market doing? I like looking at watch what the U.S. dollar's doing. Watch what the what TLT's doing. You watch what your I think it's TNX. TNX. Yeah, your U.S. Treasury notes. Your 10-year U.S. Treasury note yield. Usually, whatever this is doing, this is what stocks do. This is your yield off your 10-year Treasury bonds. I've heard several professional chartists and stock people say this. You've already nined out. 10 bar was a down bar, major down bar, 6%. You lost 6%. You're in a 10-year Treasury bond, you lost 6% this week right here, May 9th. Yeah, congratulations. It's reversing. You may get your 1, 2, 3. A lot of times you'll get a 9, and you get your 10 bar with no number count on it. I call that the 10 bar because it follows number 9. And then if you're going to get a continuation, sometimes you'll get 1 and then a 2 and a 3 count, and then it'll reverse and go down on you. But as long as this is up, this is going up, that's indicating bonds are going down. So when this reversed, yeah, I was actually reversed on that because this is the yield off of the 10-year bond. So if this is going up, your bonds are going down. You can tell that on a TLT chart. That's a 20-year actually. I'm not sure what a 10-year ticker symbol is, but so you can see the 20-year has been going down forever. I mean, since I don't know when. Well, it started down right here, I guess. That was your first down week of December 6th, 2021. Started down on a 7 count, hit your 8, didn't even get to 9, rolled over, You know, 2 9s, there's your 13 count. Getting close to a bottom could be. I mean, 9. Tom DeMark, his bread and butter plays is he'd wait for a 9 count, and then you get your 13 on your combo, sequential, whatever, and then you get another 9 count. So that's a lot of times you're getting real close to a bottom or a reversal of your price action when you see that. I mean, it's not guaranteed. Nothing works 100% of the time, but that's especially on a weekly basis, that's pretty good. Look here, 9 count, reversal, made 2% on your money on 20-year bonds in 5 days. That's not bad. It's not bad. Now, this week's a down count. You know, it could continue down for another 3 weeks and then rally back up. But if bonds are going up, that means stocks are going down. So most of the time. That's why if you want to see what stocks are going to do, you follow your TNX. A lot of times, as long as it's going up, stocks are going up. But you've got a weekly sell signal right here. So that's telling you stocks are most likely going to head south. So you watch your SPY. That's your S&P 500. 500 of the best companies in the world. If they're going down on a weekly basis, you don't want any part of it. Your 10-week moving average headed south. You don't want no chance of it. No. All right, now you got a little uptick. All right, you got 430 to 429. No, it's still going down. You were at 430. You got to wait on the close of this weekly candle. So on a Friday, we'll see where it's at. Now, it could go up, could close higher. If it closes higher than, 406.41, it could be a reversal. I was thinking this could be a down week at least till Thursday, Friday. We got a nice little bounce today. We were way overdue, though, on a daily, short-term basis. Way overdue for a bounce. I mean, you look at your 4-hour, your 12-hour. That tells you where you're at on your short-term. Your 4-hour is, I use that for like a 36-hour trade. You get your 9 count, ideally. You only got 20 hours out of this, but you got 12-hour bounce right here, theoretically. I mean, it's not. Let me zoom in on that. It's pretty much sideways. You're not knocking a home run. You look at your cloud base for a little guesstimation. See, it's headed down to flat on your Ichimoku cloud. That's a pretty good indication of what price action is going to do. I'm not an Ichimoku expert, but look for YouTube. Try to find some information on that. I'm not 100% sure on that. Tuesday, yeah, okay. So your hourly, you're on a sell count, but you're on a positive count. It's kind of headed up. It's on your S&P. Yeah, but look at your volumes coming down. That's weakness. It's probably going to, I call it a limp noodle bounce. That's what I call it. It's just hard to get much out of this. There's not much volatility right now. They're just, you pull the VIX up. Pull the VIX on the S&P. Let's see. We need daily, at least daily. What kind of percent gain or loss we got on the daily? You got a 6%. All right. What about weekly? Weekly, you got 10%. Your Goldman Sachs guy, what's his name? Anton Creel, that's who I learned from. Ex-Goldman Sachs manager. He said you get a 25% move on your volatility, your VIX of the S&P. When you see that, if you get a 25% drop from your previous week or your previous, you could do it monthly, you could do it weekly, you could do it daily. Like say we get a 25% drop right here this week, he says reduce your portfolio by 50%, sell half of your portfolio more or less if you have portfolio stocks or crypto or whatever. Sell half of it and use that 50% for day trading, is what he said. You have to have that 50% or at least a 25% drop in volatility, is what he says, to be able to make much money day trading, especially with stocks. Now, crypto, whole different story. That doesn't really translate to crypto. I mean, it kind of does, but like right now, you pull up a fear and greed index on crypto, we're at an 8 historic. I mean, not the lowest low we've ever had. I think we got down to 5 during the pandemic flu dump. Let's see, crypto fear and greed index. I think it's this one, maybe. That's Bitcoin. Let's see. Yeah, we're at an 8 on your fear and greed extreme. Yesterday we had a 14. 6-point drop. Last week was a 10. Last month was a 28. So you got a lot of fear. You can drop down here, you get a historical, put it on a max, you get the historical chart. All the way 2018, you can see right here in 2019, I believe that was August. Yeah, August 20, August 21st. I don't know what happened in August 19th, 2019 that caused this massive fear. Doesn't give the number, does it? Yeah, it does. It's almost impossible to use this stupid chart thing. I don't know how you get this thing to work, but anyway, that looks like about a 5 to me. Over here, you got your 10 to 0. This is about an 8, I'm guessing, somewhere in there. You know, where your dot actually was. So yeah, right here, this 2019 was the lowest that I know of, as far back as this chart goes, but you can go off of that. That's just something to keep in mind. You know, watch your VIX. I need to add that to my red. I call them a red list, just to keep an eye on it. I wish they had a fear and greed on. They may have one. Shoot, let's search fear. Tether, fear, maybe greed. Fear, greed? No. How about fear, greed? No. How about just greed? Am I spelling greed right? Hope so. No, they don't have a fear and greed on crypto. They just have green, as far as I know. Fear? I got fear. That's an actual coin. USDC fear? Yeah, well, that's NFTs. USDC fear. Check that out. See what that is. 4. Daily. 3.6 USDC POS fear NFT. I don't think that's what I'm looking for, but anyway. This video is getting too long. I'm going to have to end it, I guess, before I crash my computer, but I need to get a new computer so I can make longer videos, I guess. But that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm showing. You know, I wanted to show y'all that trade setup using Total Market 3. I think that's I'm definitely going to start watching that, especially on a short-term basis. If you can get a 4-hour to a 1-hour, you get everything doing the same thing. You get Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever coin you want to bet for or against. You get it all doing the same thing. It's just extra wind behind your sails. That'll probably be my thumbnail or title of this video. Is I call it my revelation light bulb in the brain goes off moment. This is 10 years of trading, over 10 years that I've, had to try to develop. So I'd always heard from the people I learned from, if you could get in sync with whatever the market's doing on stocks or anything, you get in sync of what the majority of the market's doing. 75% of most coins and stocks most likely are probably going to be doing the same thing as the NASDAQ or the S&P or Bitcoin, Ethereum. You look at your big dogs, your Dow Jones, your S&P. You convert that to crypto. Your Bitcoin would be NASDAQ, or your Bitcoin would be the Dow Jones. Ethereum will be equivalent to your S&P or NASDAQ. And then your layer ones would be your NASDAQ, Russell Index. I believe that's IWM is your Russell. It's iShares of Russell 2000. On an hourly basis, doing good today. Kicking some booty. Let's see, daily. What's it doing on a daily? Glad I didn't bet against it today. 2.7% up. I'd be 3x. I'd be 6%, say 7%, 8% down today if I would have bet against it. There's a SQQ where you can short NASDAQ stocks, pretty much technology. That's down 5.8% today. Woo! Glad I didn't bet against that. Bought by, that's on a sell signal. That's saying bounce. That's saying your NASDAQ and your tech stocks are bouncing right now. Delete that green line. That's Lamosity. It still could be breaking the trend line there. We look on a weekly basis on this. That's it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a really steep trend line right there. I don't know. I'd probably draw it to there, but that's a problem with trend lines. It's so subject to interpretation. That's what Tom DeMark says. He says all these indicators and your especially trend lines. You could have 1,000 people draw a trend line on this thing, and everybody's going to come up with a different perspective. I would probably actually draw it on this. Is a lot better because you go to your 2 points of your highs. I would say would be this 4 candle and your 2 candle. That's a more accurate weekly basis trend line, I think. So if it breaks above this on a weekly basis, it closes above it on a Friday, you got something. You got a possibility. Now, usually it'll close above it, it'll break above it, and then it retests it, according to Sheldon on Crypto Bander show. Definitely going to start watching him. He's doing a live trading show starting sometime this week or next week, I hope. Definitely going to be watching for that. I want to learn from that guy. He turned $400 into $1 million in 2 years, I believe is what he said today on his show. I got to learn from people like that. Never stop learning. I mean, 10 years I've been day trading for 10 years. I still learn. I try to learn from every trade. It'd be better if I'd keep a journal, write down my mistakes I made, what I could have done better, what I did good, what I could have done better. You can always improve on your system. Keep tweaking, keep adjusting, keep learning. That's all we can do, and eventually, it's going to click. What they say, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. You really shouldn't trade when you're tired, or sick. If you're sick or tired, it's a bad idea to day trade during those times. So for railroader trades, when he's not tired, I would never trade ever because railroaders are tired all the time. But so yeah, I don't want to get into that. That's a whole new bag of worms. But so I'm gonna end this video. Hope I didn't confuse you too much. Maybe shed a little light on a good trading strategy. Might help you save some money on disasters. Keep you out of a nightmare. Right now, I think if you can make money on a short-term basis, take the money, take the profit. Whatever you call a win, for me, I try to base it on what I can make at work in a day. I mean, so if you can make $100, if you can make $500 to $1,000 in an hour, take that money, man. Take the money. I've seen, I don't know how many times I made $500 on a trade, but I got greedy. I'm like, well, what if I can make 1,000? Or I make 2,000? Or I might make 4, and eventually it's going to reverse, especially in this market. It's extremely volatile. We're not getting long-term bounces. We're seeing this short-term little 3 to 4 day or 3 to 4 hour bounces, and it's just choppy. It's what they call chop. It's just grinding. The market's grinding crypto and stocks. So just keep that in mind. Take profit short-term if you can. Lock that money in. Diversify. I mean, I probably need to diversify out of USDT, tether version of the dollar. I don't know. They're saying there may be an attack on that next. Well, UST took a beating. Obviously it's down to 12 cents. It was 8 cents yesterday, I think. 12 cents. It was all linked to Luna, the Terra, version of their stable coin, and it's created a lot of uncertainty. So I don't know. A guy might ought to be at least 50% USDC in a stable coin, 50% USDT. That way, if USDT crashes, you only lose half your money. Not financial advice, just something I've been thinking about here lately myself, but I don't know. I'll keep that in mind. That's all I got.